Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Donnelly, voice of the Charlotte Rush. It is our Charlotte Rush midweek report. It's Wednesday, February the 7th. I'm in the coach's office of the Charlotte Rush. We're going to talk Charlotte Rush Premier hockey right now as we come down to the regular season finale this weekend. Rush also had a couple of big wins in Raleigh last weekend against the Carolina Eagles. So we're going to talk about all those subjects with the head coach of the Charlotte Rush Premier, and that, of course, is Trevor Jewell. And Trevor, again, you guys already clinched the Southeast Division Championship several weeks back, so now it's just trying to come into finish the season strong. And you guys did that last weekend as far as your road schedule was concerned. Got a couple of big wins in Raleigh against the Eagles. A 4-1 win on Saturday, and I thought one of the bright spots in that game was 3 assists by Justin Geary. He's only been with the team about a month, but boy, he has jumped right in and really played a prominent role, hasn't he?
Yeah, Justin's performed very well since he got here. You know, I think John was referring to him all weekend as the assist factory. But yeah, he sees the ice very well. He moves the puck extremely well. He's a great distributor of the puck, and he shoots the puck, you know, with a purpose. And that's what generates his assists, and that's what generates his success. And you know, we really enjoy having him. I think he's a great kid, and I think he's a great human being, and he was just a great addition to this team and program. So very happy with the way he's playing right now, and I think he can only elevate as it goes forward.
Sam Best also played well on Saturday, and good to see him back in the net as well, doing what he usually does, stopping pucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's his numbers speak for themselves. He's a great goalie, and it shows in the league and the statistics and things like that. So always a good day when Sam's in net, and you know, he works his bag off every day, and he's a great kid. He's always wanting to learn. He's always, you know, he's a sponge when it comes to, you know, learning things and getting better each day. So very happy with him, and you know, like I said, his wins and stats and everything speak for themselves with just his work ethic alone. So very good to see him get a win in Carolina as well.
So we move on to Sunday. It was a shutout for the Charlotte Rush, and Drew Benedict in goal, getting the shutout 7-0. But Trevor, the first thing I want to talk about, what in the world happened in that third period? At the 8:39 mark, there were 20 penalties called. At the 8:39 mark, 110 minutes in all, 52 minutes against the Rush. Trevor, what in the world happened at 8:39 in that third period? Tell us about it.
I couldn't even tell you right now. I mean, it's just you know, Nick got hit in the head, and then, you know, guys got in a scrum, and there were just penalties all over the place. And, you know, obviously it's something where our guys are going to protect their teammates, and obviously, you know, you never want to see a guy take a hit to the head like that, especially in open ice. So our guys responded, and a lot of penalties were handed out, a lot of 5 and 10s and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, luckily no suspensions, so we're pretty happy about that. But, you know, again, it's the nature of the game when something bad like that happens, and guys get fired up, and they don't want to see their leader and one of their friends take a hit like that and possibly, you know, come out with an injury. So it's just one of those situations where something like that happens and guys respond. So outside of that, the refs made the right calls and did the right thing, and it kept the game from getting out of hand. So happy with the way things turned out, and happy that we didn't come out of it with any suspensions or injuries for that matter.
Trevor, you've been around hockey a long time. You've been a player or a coach, but I don't know how those referees could remember all the penalties to call. That's amazing how they could even go to the score sheet and remember, I think 5 or 6 guys on each team got penalties. Amazing to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it carefully on video, sometimes you see them with their little notepad writing down on the ice and stuff, and that's why you see one of the refs kind of pull out and then the linesman go in there and try to separate everybody. But sometimes that really doesn't work out to their advantage, and guys still, you know, stay in there trying to, you know, get after each other. But that's really how they remember it. I'm not sure how I would feel about carrying around a notepad and I'm on the ice and trying to write when guys are punching each other in the face. But I'd probably want to get in there and make sure it ended quicker than me writing down what the penalties were. So, but that's usually how it works. And, you know, fortunately, you know, nobody was hurt and nobody was suspended, and both teams came out of it fairly unscathed.
It was a team win, to be sure. There was balanced scoring in the game on Sunday with the 7-0 shutout. But I did want to talk about 2 guys. Player number 1, Justin Samaro, he had been injured for a while. He came back. And I tell you, Trevor, since he's come back, the way he's been playing, it's going to make a tough call to get him out of the lineup. He looks like he really wants to do all it takes to stay in there. You've got a lot of depth. You and your coaching staff has decisions to make about who plays. But he's been playing pretty well. It's going to be tough to move him out of there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the new year came in, you know, I thought he's been a different person, different player, different human being, different attitude. You know, he's come in every day with the will to learn and will to get better, and I really think it's showing in his game. And yeah, he's making our job very difficult, which I like, and I also hate at the same time. So, but I'm very happy with this play right now. I'm happy with the way he is. You know, he's asking questions, he's engaged, he's doing the right things day in and day out, and he's earning the playing time he's getting, and he's responding too, and he's putting points on the board and helping us win hockey games. So, very happy with the adjustments he's made coming back since the new year, and hopefully he continues to build on that and becomes a big part of our success in playoffs.
Also, a guy that had a somewhat scary injury earlier in the year was Anthony Yerkins. He's been back now for, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, and he got a goal on Sunday. And, Trevor, I know you and your coaching staff, you got to love it when you get secondary scoring. You know, you got your first 2 or 3 lines, but that last line, and when you get a goal or some points from them, you got to be happy.
Yeah, and Anthony's one of those kids that he can spark the team in one shift. It was just by the way he works. You know, he's a tireless worker. He's fast. He's kind of a rat out there, and guys hate him because he's constantly stealing pucks from guys and just all over the place, and then he gets rewarded with a goal. So I'm very happy to see him finally put one in the net, and especially in a game like that one. You know, he's been trying to put him in the net for the past 4 or 5 weeks here, and he just couldn't do it. But now he finally gets one, and especially in a big game like that, in a rivalry game, and you know, you're just happy. You can't help but smile and be happy for a kid like that because he's worked so hard, and he did sit out for a while because of an injury, and now he's finally back on the score sheet in a good way, and we couldn't be happier.
Anthony Yerkins, Staten Island, New York, one of our New Yorkers we have on the Rush team, had a nice game on Sunday. Well, a couple of final questions for Trevor Jewell, head coach of the Charlotte Rush Premier. Trevor, 2 games, regular season games against Atlanta, nothing really to play for as far as points are concerned, but tell us what you would like your team to achieve this weekend in the 2 games against Atlanta here at home.
Well, obviously, we just want to finish the regular season out as hard as we can. We want to try to get 2 wins, and because Atlanta's still fighting for a playoff spot right now, because you never know what's going to happen with the series between them and Richmond and what's going to happen with Richmond in their next 4 games. But at the end of the day, you know, they're coming in looking to steal 2 games from us and play spoiler and possibly try to ruin something that, you know, we have that's going so well right now. And obviously, we don't want to go into the playoffs with 2 losses under our belt, especially in the last 2 games of the season. So we got to make sure we're prepared. We got to make sure we're ready to go and treat it just like any other regular season game or playoff game, and make sure our guys are taking care of business and playing our game and our brand, and making sure we're you know, firing on all cylinders, because we have to be prepared. We're going to have an off weekend before playoffs, so we have to finish the regular season as good as we can, to be honest.
All right, of course, 2 weeks from this coming Friday, the United States Premier Hockey League Elite and Premier playoffs begin, and they're going to be right here at the Extreme Ice Center in Indian Trail, the home of the Charlotte Rush. So write that down. The Rush will have a weekend between to tweak things, get ready to go. Trevor, as it stands right now, who could some of the opponents be for the Charlotte Rush Premier in the playoffs that begin here in a couple of weeks?
Right now it looks like Richmond, but you know, they still have 4 games left, and we have Atlanta this weekend. Atlanta only has 2 games left, so it really just depends on what happens with Atlanta and Richmond in the next couple of weeks here. And most likely it will be Richmond, but it could also be Atlanta, you know, if all the stars align for them. So we really need to make sure that we take care of business and we prepare accordingly, no matter what team we play, really. But our guys are prepared. We're ready to go. We're excited, and we want to get things going right now as soon as possible.
And, of course, Trevor would never say this because he's very humble, but Trevor is undefeated with the Charlotte Rush Premier since the departure of Ryan Carruthers heading up to Chicago. And so I know you talked to Ryan quite a bit. I know he's pretty pleased with what's been going on, but talk about how he's feeling and how he's doing up there in Chicago, Trevor.
I think he's doing well. Obviously, I think he had a tough weekend this past weekend, but you know, we talk with him hopefully almost on a daily basis, especially on game days. He checks in with us and checks in with the guys to make sure everything's ready to go and the guys are prepared. And he always has, you know, some words of advice for the players in the group chats and stuff like that. So, you know, he's just as involved as he's ever been, just not physically here. So he's enjoying it up there. I'm sure he probably misses the little warmer weather down here, but you know, it's a great place to be in Chicago, you know, especially in the best league in the United States. You know, he's very happy about that. But obviously, we all know he misses the guys and stuff like that. And, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, we're all a family no matter where we are. We all love each other. And it's a tough thing because, you know, we want him to be a part of things. But, you know, he had to move on to bigger and better things and do what was good for him in his career. And we're very proud of him. But we got to take care of business down here as well.
Well, again, Ryan Carruthers may be up in Chicago, but if he got a cut, I know his blood would be Charlotte Rush red, to be sure. So, Trevor, thanks a lot for the comments and observations. Congrats to you and the coaching staff for keeping everything rolling here. The Charlotte Rush Express is on track. It's rolling, and we look forward to finishing out the regular season with a couple of big wins here against Atlanta this weekend.
Thanks a lot, Tim.
Trevor Jewell, head coach of the Charlotte Rush Premier, on our video Wednesday, February the 7th. Hey, you can also find more information on the Charlotte Rush by visiting our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Tim Pinelli, voice of the Charlotte Rush. Thanks so much for watching.